Hello, and thank you for taking the time to watch this recording today. My name is Mike Schnell, and I am the Community Engagement Coordinator for Southeast Service Cooperative. Also joining me on this recording today, you'll see her a little bit later, is Marianne Smith, who is the Career Navigator for the Bluff Country Collaborative. So the reason that FutureForward exists is the top two influences on what a student does as they move forward in their career path are number one, their parents, whether their parents believe it or not, frankly, and number two, their experiences. Like I said, that's why FutureForward exists. We want to provide those experiences for students in a way that they haven't been able to get before. We really want to make sure that students can see themselves in their future career path. One of the things I really want to talk to you about is your influence, your experience, and your image. So one of the things I want to talk to you about today is your image and what that looks like in FutureForward. And I'm going to do a quick screen share here to talk to you about kind of what that looks like and how you can go about doing that. So what you're going to do, I'm going to share my screen here. You see I am at the FutureForward homepage, which is www.futureforward.org. I'm going to go up here to the upper right-hand corner. I'm going to hit portal login. After I do that, it's going to take me to my personal dashboard. So what you're going to want to do is come to this upper right-hand corner here. Click on your account. After you click on your account, you're going to see a variety of different things that you have on here. A lot of this information you have filled out previously, including your work address, potentially volunteer roles you're willing to fulfill. You see if you mouse over any of those, it talks to you a little bit about what they are, gives you a quick description of what they are. The career sector, so this is what you do. This is not necessarily what your company does. This is what you do inside of your company, and then specifically what you do inside of your company. So you can see here, I have business management and administration. I have managers, and then training and development managers. You have an area down here where you have a brief bio, has a link to your LinkedIn profile if you want to put that in there, just something easier for someone to share. And then also you can see down here, you have this interest section. So when you go to the interest section, I'll tell you in a little bit why this is so important, but it is important for you to put anything career related that you want folks to know about what you do inside of this interest section, and then down below you put your phone number. The last thing I want to talk to you about while we're on this screen is this area right up here. You can see I have a profile image up here. Profile images resize to a square image of 300 by 300, so it's important to use a square image to put in on your profile image. And quite frankly, the reason why it's important to have all of these things included in your profile is this is the first impression that students and teachers will have for you. So they want to see themselves in your career. And the more information that you have filled out here, the more likely it is that they're going to see themselves in what you do. Let's go a little bit further into what we're doing here. So one of the ways that we know that students and teachers are going to be utilizing FutureForward this next school year is to network. So when they do that, what they're going to do is they're going to go up here to network. They're going to go to find professionals, and they're going to search. They're going to search by your name. They're going to search by the company you're a part of. Or they're going to search for one of those interests. That's why it's so important to put what you do professionally inside of that interest box to make sure that folks know if you have accounting skills and you know how to do payroll and those sorts of things. If somebody is interested in accounting, or if somebody is interested in having an accountant come and talk to their school about that sort of thing, it's important that they're easily able to find that. And one way you can do that is by going to the interest area. So the other thing that they're going to want to do, so let's just say that I am searching for a banker. I go to Arcadian Bank here. I'm going to find those that are interested, or those who are from Arcadian Bank. I see that we have Abby. I go into Abby's thing. You see she's got a variety of different schools that she is has said that she is willing to volunteer at, a number of different volunteer roles that she can do. And once again, like I said, if you mouse over those volunteer roles while you're including them, it's going to talk a little bit about what they are willing to do. You can contact Abby either by email or by chat inside of FutureForward. And all of those different things are ways that you can connect with her. And quite frankly, what you know, you don't have to check this every day to see whether or not somebody is trying to connect with you. All of these things, whether they email you or they send you a chat, you're going to get a notification from FutureForward that says that somebody is trying to connect with you through FutureForward. So to put it simply, if somebody is looking for a job shadow, if they're looking for a company tour, internships, mentorships, anything like that, they're going to be finding that information here. They're going to find you. That's how they're going to connect with you. And that's what they're going to do inside of FutureForward. So the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to be joined by Marianne Smith, who, like I mentioned previously, is the career navigator for the Bluff Country Collaborative. And Marianne Smith is going to talk to you a little bit more about what you can do inside of FutureForward, how you can utilize the lessons feature to connect with teachers and get yourself into classrooms and show yourself to be an expert in the career field that you're at. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at mschnell@ssc.coop.
Part of the purpose of this training is to help you connect with the next generation of workers by being that second most influential part in a student's decision of what career to pursue, their experiences. We are going to shift from the individual profiles to empowering students and share your expertise. Now, if you're following along on your own computer or laptop, click the dashboard along the top. You'll see the three things: host a student experience, share your expertise with students, and connect with educators to see if you can help support their students. But we are going to get to the hosting a student experience in training 201. So you'll want to make sure to check back for that training. We're going to focus right now on sharing your expertise with students. So there's two ways to get to these lesson topics. And one is you can browse the lesson topics button right here. The other way, from any page in FutureForward, you can go up to resources, click find lesson topics. Now, what I really like about this lesson topics is that it's a library of topics that both professionals and educators have created and put in here. So they may look a little different based on which perspective put in the topic or created the topic, but there is space for both sides of the coin to identify willingness to have guest speakers come into the classroom or willingness to share their expertise. And this is where you as a business professional come in. You can identify topics that you're willing to present on, topics that you are an expert in your field. It's something you do in your career regularly. It's something that you know very well, because what we know is that students learn really well from people who are passionate and knowledgeable about what they're speaking on. As you go through and search through topics here, I want you to be thinking about, what are you teaching your employees or new employees? What skills that you want your employees to know or your colleagues to know and be knowledgeable in, that you'd like high school students to really be exposed to earlier than their first job, let's say. So this is a library of content, like I was saying. And there are more than 250 in here. Now we can scroll through them, but using the search feature, you can search by name, and this searches the title of the lesson topic. You can filter by course, or you can filter by industry. Let's filter by course and take a moment to look through the course list. All your typical courses found in a high school. You'll notice there's a couple positions like assistant principal, but there's also student organizations in here. We know that student organization and coaches of those students need help too. But you might find one that relates to your career. So when you click on a topic, I'm an expert in career exploration, so I'm going to go there for demonstration purposes. Click search. I'm going to read through some of these. You know what? Let's just see about exploring careers in health science. And to open it up, I click the title. When you're looking inside the topic, you'll see summary, learning outcomes, educational standards, resources, if available, professionals willing to talk on it. Oh, there I am. And educators wanting this topic taught in their classroom. So as a professional, when you find a topic that you would like to be a guest speaker in a classroom, then you're going to want your name to show up under this list of professionals. Here's how you do it. On the banner, you'll notice a graduation hat on the lower right-hand corner. When you click that, your name will show up under professionals. Since my name is already here, if I were to click it, I would remove that topic from my list of topics I'm willing to teach. At any point in time, you can change that. You can add more topics. You can take some off of your list. You can refer to what, if you go back to all lessons, topics I can teach is a nice quick reference for you of all the topics that you're willing to teach on that educators could easily reach out to you for. What does it look like when an educator reaches out to you? Well, you will get an email from FutureForward, and I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to go to my dashboard, and you notice that I have a notification request, my request right here, and I can learn more about it by clicking on it and scrolling down. So when an educator reaches out to you to invite you to be their guest speaker, they're going to send you 3 dates and times, and you can click which one works best in your schedule. If none of them do, go ahead and click deny. But the really cool thing is that after you've picked a date, it'll show up on your calendar. I'll show you where that is. Scroll down here, my topics, my schools, my calendar. It'll show up on your calendar. And then you can download it to your iCal, Outlook, whatever format you're using. But the really cool thing is then you and the teacher can start communicating about the topic and what of those bullet points are most important for this unit, for this teacher, for this classroom. Is it in person? Is it virtual? Is it a 30-minute class? Is it an hour and a half long block? What kind of supplies does the teacher want you to be bringing in? What kind of background? Where does this fit in the bigger scope of the unit? That sort of discussion, whatever you feel important details to work out with the teacher before coming in as their guest speaker. So it's always important to follow up, especially if you don't have a date that works and you need to click deny, but do want to visit that school and that classroom. Go ahead and follow up with the teacher anyway. You can use this live chat feature down and below to reach out to the educator and ask for an opportunity that fits your schedule. So maybe you're gone that week, but the following week you have openings in your schedule. Okay, so let's go back to the lesson library, lesson topics. And again, that is on resources, find lesson topics. I want you to be spending time looking through what's here and use your filtering features to identify things that fit you. I also want you to be thinking about who knows the topics that you're coming across. Let's say that you're something in manufacturing. And look at all these really great topics, but your company does not do hydroelectric power, but you know somebody who does and would be a really great speaker on that. You can refer other professionals to do this. I also want to point out that when you're sifting through lesson topics, the graduation hat shows up on this page as well. One way that SSC, Career Navigators, Mike, Sarah, help support businesses and professionals is that we can help connect educators and business professionals for these topics. So an example, working with a school this spring, the teacher really wanted somebody to come in and talk about media and sports marketing. So this teacher created a topic. So there was nothing in here to fit that. So I'm going to show you for demonstration purposes, sports. Whoops, nothing comes up because it's searching sports and manufacturing. So I'm going to go ahead and clear my filter by industry and try again. And this one topic comes up because that's the one I'm looking for. Open it up. And what this teacher did is created this, but then I helped recruit and advertise that this topic was taking place and new, and I taught the professional how to get in here. But once there were professionals listed, the teacher was able to send a request with her open dates to come in and guest speak. And so let's say that you as a professional really think a topic fits for you and would love to share that with school districts and young people, but there's no educator listed, right? I'm going to just pick art elements and art principles. Okay, notice there's no educators listed here. Okay, this is where you can reach out to us at SSC to help identify educators. You can use this network feature. So again, at the top, network, find educators. Okay, you can sift through this and network them. Going back to the lesson topics. Here's a really great way that you can be proactive in connecting with educators. All right, I'm going to search topics. I'm going to go into a business class I really want to speak on. Let's say that you would really like to go in and talk about financial strategies for your post-high school future. All right, and you would notice that there's an educator here wanting this topic in their classroom and for their students. You as a professional can be proactive and chat with this educator. Hi, I would like to connect with you about being a guest speaker. And you can just send that message. So that is one way that you can be proactive in promoting skills and knowledge and your industry and your company to our area schools. If you have questions at any time, feel free to reach out to any of us at SSC, the Career Navigators. I also want to make sure that you're aware that you can create your own topics. So resources, find lesson topics. You notice something that you would really like your employees to know about your company, your industry, a skill that is used often, you can create a topic here, which is a really neat way for you to really share your expertise. So if you have questions, let us know. We are happy to walk through any of these steps. We're happy to connect you with an educator. We're happy to brainstorm things with you. We're even happy to help train other professionals at your company, in your industry, in your community to do the same thing that you're doing today. So thank you very much for taking time for training, learning about topics and how you can share your expertise with young people. Thank you.